Welcome to Goodman Gymnasium here in Salisbury, North Carolina for South Atlantic Conference women's basketball. The Carson Newman Eagles, winners of 4 straight, taking on the Catawba Indians this afternoon. Thank you for joining us courtside here with Aaron Summers, Evan Budrovich with you. As Carson Newman, they've won 4 in a row, led by 83 points a game. Catawba hasn't played in 17 days. How do they shake off the rust?
It's not only just those 17 days that they haven't played, and this is the 3rd time they've had to sit due to COVID-19 protocols. The Indians don't have a lot of rhythm at this point, and they like to run. The depth of this team, they have 18 players that have seen time this year, will be a big factor, and that's how they'll be able to play against the conditioning that they might have issues with.
They also have to slow down Braylon Weichel, the sophomore guard from Carson Newman. She's ranked 4th in the country in scoring. What makes her so special?
Guard Braylon Weichel not only scores just under 24 points per game, she's shooting 48% from the field. You mentioned she's that number 4 point producer in the NCAA. She does it all for the Eagles, and Catawba really has to know where she is at all times. They have to make sure that it's not Weichel that beats them. Make it be somebody else on the court. You mentioned the 18 players. How about the senior Shemaya Stanback for Catawba? What does she bring to the table? Stanback is one of those senior leaders that the Indians will really need to rely on today because of so much time off. Stanback, she averages 12 points per game, and she's a great distributor. She gets everybody on the court involved. Look for that guard to be a big factor today. When we come back, our keys to the game and starting lineups with Carson Newman Catawba coming up right after this. More from the South Atlantic Conference.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be.
If you aspire to inspire the world around you and others.
If you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
We're looking to create counselors to be client-centered and to be humanistic in your process. We're looking to serve, and we're hoping that individuals who come here have a mindset that they want to make a difference in someone's life.
Just the fact that it's a master's in clinical mental health counseling, it just opens you up to a variety of potential jobs. So I think Catawba's foundations are really strong, and they offer just a really good program.
We are underway. Time for some women's basketball this afternoon as Carson Newman starts with the ball. This team can really score at 9th in Division II scoring. But a miss there for Braylon Weichel and a rebound for Carson Newman. How about the hustle on the floor? That's Lauren Ford drawing the foul. Catawba has not played since January 25th. They're motivated, and Coach McCutcheon would love to see what his girls can do today.
There's a lot of questions coming into this game. They got their first full practice in last night. Coach McCutcheon said that he was going to use that practice to see where they were at as far as conditioning, how hard they were going to be able to go today. They like to press, and we'll see if they're able to.
So Carson Newman, they've won 8 straight in this series. And Aaron, how about the keys for the Eagles as they go right inside to Lindsey Taylor?
Playing off of that, the conditioning, they need to bring their own energy, make sure that they're playing hard on every possession, and then communicate defensively with as good as Carson Newman is on the offensive end.
Another steal for the Eagles. And now looking it back to Taylor, the Furman transfer. Tough move with the left, and a defensive board for Lyric Thorne. Thorne to the basket, can't finish. A good pace in these first 2 minutes, and we'll stay here with Carson Newman.
Both of these teams like to play fast. Carson Newman really does run the floor as it is the key to the game. If they can get out to that pace and especially push it against a team that hasn't been playing, then that can play in their advantage. Also need to make sure that they take care of the ball, as Catawba really likes to turn people over.
Head coach Mike Mincy in his 10th year with this program, and they are scoring it at a prolific rate. 83 a night, and a good layup for Harley Smith. Here's a corner pocket for Tasia DeZajo, and Tasia with the turnover. Aaron, what must Catawba do this afternoon?
Catawba really needs to make sure that they're playing with energy. They need to counteract the fact that they haven't been on the court. They haven't had the conditioning in the past 3 weeks, and then make sure they're communicating against a really strong offensive Carson Newman team on the defensive end. 4
early points for Lindsay Taylor. Change the dynamic of this offense for Carson Newman. Pound the ball in the post this year, and Taylor's been a big reason why.
Taylor's an addition from Furman in the Southern Conference, came down from D1 to D2 to get some more minutes and play a bigger role on the team. She's been huge.
DeZajo kicks it out to Barnes, who works the baseline and can't convert. Catawba still searching for his first points today, and they'll have to wait a few extra seconds. Here's Braylon Weichel, all eyes on her, the sophomore, who dumps it at Taylor. And to the free throw line goes Lindsay Taylor.
Taylor's done a really good job of getting to the rim. She's a strong player. You can see how she drives the lane once she receives the ball. She does a good job of sealing out the defender and getting to the basket.
Taylor's coming off a 20-point, 16-rebound effort and a tight win for Carson Newman over UVA-Wise. And Aaron, despite the fact that Catawba hasn't played in 17 days, these are 2 of the top 3 teams in the league fighting for that position today.
It's tough because Catawba only has 6 games that they can go back and look at. They really don't have the momentum going into the tournament that other teams will have in the next couple weeks. So they really need to make the most of their minutes here and the time that they do have to get back on the court.
That was a lane violation on the free throw, so it goes to Catawba. At 5-1 on the year, the Indians make 7 threes a game. That's where their offense comes from. We have a traveling violation on DeZajo. Keep an eye on Tasia today. She needs 27 points to reach 1,000 in her career. Right now, though, Catawba just needs some points in this first quarter.
It would be a tall ask for her to get 27 as she only averages just under 8.
And that's a travel on Madison Bunch, moving her feet. Actually, Skylar Boshears, I should say. A sophomore of La Follette, Tennessee. All 11 players on this roster within 90 miles of the campus in Jefferson City.
Just recruiting in their backyard, keeping kids close to home.
That's something Mike Mincy takes great pride in with his program. And another traveling violation. That's Stanback with the extra step.
And that's what we're going to see today, getting used to game action, the pace of play. You haven't been on the court in a live game in 3 weeks. Little things like that, and you're going to make some mistakes.
Mike Mincy's club looking for a 5th NCAA tournament under his watch. And today they enter this game 12th in the country as Taylor is stripped. Good effort by Stanback, and your player to watch is coming to play. There's an open shooter in Downs. Janiyah with the shot fake. Drives into Taylor and can't hit it.
Smart play by Stanback, not to continue the drive, but to pull back, look for somebody with a better open look.
Weichel cuts the lane, sets up a shooter, and the 3 is off by Bird. Here comes Catawba. Thorne cuts to the block and banks it in. Catawba can score it as well, 70 points a night, and they break an 0-for-5 drought to start this one. Weichel, nifty move, and she converts.
That's what makes Weichel so good. She's able to move around the defenders. She's so agile with the ball, and she can shoot from all 3 levels. You just saw how good she is manipulating the baseline and getting in.
Weichel averages 24 a game. That's 4th best in the country. As off on the 3 that time is Downs. Here's Weichel, eyes wide open, ahead to Smith, who cuts to the basket and finishes.
She has great court vision as well. Seeing that Carson Newman had beat the Catawba defense back, she throws the lob in, and they get the points.
Catawba shooting 58% to start this game. How can the Indians answer? Stand back with a deep two. Look at the 6'3" Taylor getting the board. The transfer from Furman pushes the break to Smith, who spins in the lane and is fouled. Nice start for Carson Newman here in this first quarter.
And the Eagles this year are doing a lot more of the inside out. Usually they sit on the perimeter and kill you with threes, but with the personnel they have this year, going inside a lot more.
Carson Newman up 8 here in this first quarter. More basketball after this.
Catawba College is a story of transformation. It's a place where students' creativity is fostered, a place of inspiration to go beyond the classroom, a place of belonging no matter who you are. Mentorships, a broad curriculum, and hands-on experiences prepare students for employment and a lifetime of learning. At Catawba, you begin as you are and transform with your interests and experiences. We're Catawba, and we have a good story to tell.
What makes Catawba's sport management program unique is the geographic location where we are. We're close to Charlotte, Winston-Salem, and Greensboro, so we have access to the ACC, Panthers, NBA, NASCAR, and multiple minor league baseball teams that are right in our backyard.
Know that it's a community, it's a family, and I felt like family ever since I came here and been a part of the sport management program.
Welcome back inside Goodman Gymnasium here with Aaron Summers. I'm Evan Budrovich. Certainly a hot start for Carson Newman, who continues to score the basketball. Top 10 in field goal percentage and scoring tonight, and already, Aaron, shooting 62%. What must Catawba do to slow down this Carson Newman club?
Coach McCutcheon has taken all his time talking to his Indians right now. They need to make sure that they're being smart on both ends of the court, and they need to get back on defense. And then on the offensive end, they need to move the ball some more, find some better looks.
Terrence McCutcheon was telling us just yesterday was his first full team practice with this group, getting out of quarantine and COVID procedures over the last 17 days. And you get thrown a fastball right away with the top 12 team in the country in Carson Newman.
Tough to keep up with the Eagles. They shot over 50% from inside the arc, which is just so different for them. So not only are you coming back with a team that's really good, efficient offensively, but they're different than they have been in years past. So it's another wrinkle that you have to prepare for.
Our first sub as Harley Smith takes a break, and Taylor Goforth from Friendsville, Tennessee, the junior guard, gets her first minutes. 2 points for Thorne. That's been the offense for Catawba tonight, as Mercedes Wampler comes in. Stand back given all the room in the world that she can't convert. Big rebound for Downs, who scoops a creative angle and gets the bounce.
Downs' ability to go in and get the rebound, create another opportunity is exactly what the Indians need to be doing on the offensive end.
She'll get you 6 rebounds a night as Taylor continues to dominate. Six points for Taylor. Carson Newman has won 8 straight matchups, but last year in this building, Goodman Gymnasium, the game went to overtime and it stayed in the 60s. Stand back on the handoff, looks up with 8. Works it down low. Chance here for McIntosh, who with 1 second is blocked by Taylor.
Great defense by Taylor inside. She just has such a presence about her. Hard to go up against her under the basket.
Now Taylor wants the offensive end. It's an offensive foul. Good charge drawn by McIntosh.
Taylor's going to argue that one, but she did, as it looks like, lowers her shoulder a little bit. That's going to get called for the charge.
Sarah McIntosh out of Pinehurst, North Carolina, taking the charge. That's the question for this Catawba team. How do they match the size of Carson Newman, of 3 6-footers that all rotate in with Sydney Pierce, Lindsay Taylor, and Katie Bean. And their best shot blocker is Sydney Pierce, who comes off the bench, and she just checked in.
It's going to have to be their ball movement. Catawba has to move the ball on the offensive side, which is tough for the bigger defensive players to make adjustments to.
Go forth with the defensive board as Catawba's yet to hit a 3 tonight. And we have a reach and foul on Janiyah Downs, trying to pressure the ball. Not only 17 days without playing, but they haven't been at home in 17 days. So a little bit of an adjustment here for Catawba. A club that is 5-1. They sit 3rd in the league, but it is a brand new season almost starting today.
It's been such an up and down season for Catawba. They've had 13 postponements due to COVID-19, and it's tough to stay game ready.
Bird is stolen away by Bruce. Marissa runs to the rim and converts.
Getting out in transition, beating the defense, definitely going to benefit Catawba if they can continue to beat the Eagles down.
Addison Bird with a great look, but it's poked away. There's the energy of the Indians. Lyric Thorne is one of the top scorers on this club, but she threw it away. That ball's tipped and it'll stay here. Because you look at Catawba, it's stand back and downs in double figures, and then everyone else complimentary 6-7 points a game. Meanwhile, for Carson Newman, you have the big dog in Weichel with 24, and then 3 other double figure scores.
Catawba plays such an offensive style where you have to share the ball and you can get it from many different places. But if you don't have the timing down, it can be really tough.
Great find and an excellent finish. That's Talia Barnes on the pass from Thorne. Here's Catawba on a mini 6-2 run to get back in this first quarter. Weichel just 2 points tonight, and a nifty pass finished that time by Pierce.
It's a little press from the Eagles here.
We'll call that the Abby Wilson special, pressuring the ball up the floor. This Carson Newman team will play all 11 on their roster. They've already checked in 9 tonight. Barnes is blocked, and to the floor. This will be a jump ball. Possession stays here with Catawba. And how about Sydney Pierce, her 56th block of her career?
With a player like that who likes to go for the blocks, it's a little pump fake, make him go for the first shot block and then draw a foul.
So Lyric Thorne to trigger it in. She was a preseason all-selection in the South Atlantic Conference. Sets up a shooter in Phillips, who can't hit the 3. Second chance. Again off on the triple from Thorne. And here's Catawba, 0 of 5 from 3. They get the ball back again. Now Bruce works the baseline. How about Pierce? Just a complete denial.
Crashing the boards and making sure they didn't get another second chance opportunity.
There's a lot of contact, but Carson Newman keeps it. Pierce sets up Weichel and nails the triple.
You can't leave Weichel open outside. She's so good from outside and inside. You have to know where she is at all times.
That's her 101st career three-pointer in just 2 years. Braylon Weichel putting herself among the nation's best. Nice dump down to DeJezo, and Tasia draws the foul. Free throws for the senior out of Martinsville, Virginia. Tasia has just 1 double-figure scoring game this year, but has been excellent throughout her career.
She's been a really consistent player for the Indians throughout her time here, and she's a good leader on the court. She brings it at practice. She gets the other girls going along with her on the court. Definitely DeJezo and Stanback that run this team.
Carson Newman has led from the start, including a 10-0 burst. Now back to an 8-point game.
See Bruce really putting pressure on Weichel now, making sure that she doesn't have an easy look inside or to the basket.
Good hands by the senior to Buford, Georgia, and the shot clock's down to 12. The Eagles can basically hold for the last shot. Weichel sets up a shooter, and the corner three is in for Madison Bunch.
Weichel's so good when she can get to the baseline. That great drive and kick.
And the heave just missed. Tejezo almost nailed it. And through 1 quarter of play, Catawba down 11. We'll have more basketball after this quick break in the South Atlantic Conference.
Catawba College is a story of transformation. It's a place where students' creativity is fostered, a place of inspiration to go beyond the classroom, a place of belonging no matter who you are. Mentorships, a broad curriculum, and hands-on experiences prepare students for employment and a lifetime of learning. At Catawba, you begin as you are and transform with your interests and experiences. We're Catawba, and we have a good story to tell.
We believe that understanding the industry that you're involved in, being prepared for it, and finding the opportunities and initiatives that appear is the key to success as a leader.
It's almost like a family. You get to know everybody, you get to know the students, they get to know each other. So I think that's a big advantage we have.
Time for the second quarter here in Salisbury, North Carolina. How about Carson Newman, a 21-10 start. This is a team that coming into tonight 5th in the country in assists a game, already 7 dimes on 9 baskets.
You mentioned the offense, but I'm looking at the defense, something that they're not usually as good at as they are this year. It's something they really put a focus on, especially after a loss earlier this year to LMU. They decided that really needed to not just focus on outscoring people, but also limiting people on the defensive end.
Mike Mintz in year 10 has had an offense that can score, but Catawba's been very good as well in this league. Picked 3rd in the preseason poll, a group that has not played in just over 2 weeks. And here today, Aaron, their shooting woes a bit apparent early. They're 0-5 from deep.
It's going to take a bit of time for them to catch their rhythm. Their legs probably aren't feeling like they've been playing basketball in a while. It'll be interesting to see if the adrenaline starts to kick in a little bit more and they can kind of push through some of the conditioning elements and the lack of practice time.
And we have an offensive foul away from the ball. That's Lindsey Taylor called for the harm. That's 2 fouls now for Taylor. Keep an eye on that for the sophomore of Maryville, Tennessee. She heads to the bench, and a taller option, Katie Bean at 6'2", checks in. Thorne hesitates, and a strong finish.
Thorne's so good with the ball. Her ability to drive the lane and get to the rim as a smaller player is a great advantage for the Indians.
Thorne has 4 points to lead Catawba this afternoon. 6 of their starters average 7 or more. It's a balanced scoring team. As Harley Smith, a creative finish. Both offenses clicking here in the second quarter. A stand back on the shot fake. Gets to the basket but can't hit. And possession stays here.
So we take a look here as Smith just driving around the defenders and lobs it inside. It's a great, smart play by her not to try to go in with the traffic.
And a 3 is nailed. First 3 of the game for Emily Phillips.
They got 1. Maybe it can start to fall. You know, maybe they'll catch with the other players on the team.
Catawba shoots it at 30% from deep. Now applying some pressure on defense. Weichel wide open, knocking down the wing 3.
You have to contest any shot that Weichel puts up. She's just so good.
Already 8 points for Weichel. As Stanback called for the bump. Offensive foul.
Stanback was a little out of sorts, not in control as she was driving in. And you see her coming in against Weichel and just kind of does create that contact with Weichel. And
certainly
Weichel
says
falls.
something when your all-conference player is also putting the effort in on defense.
Yeah.
As Smith comes up short on the triple.
Weichel's huge on both sides. You see a steal right there.
And that's Bo Shears converting. Got to be nice to be the third wheel on Bo Shears at 13 a game, making this offense oh so dangerous for Mike Mincy. Thorne is off on the triple. Rebound McIntosh. And wanting a foul. Instead, she lost it. Carson Newman ball.
McIntosh has been really good about cleaning stuff up inside, grabbing those rebounds when the shots aren't falling. She had 7 rebounds the last time out, and her numbers just continue to increase.
Marissa Bruce checks back in for Catawba, and she's been the top threat off the bench with 4 early points. Keep an eye on Bruce's arm. She can really disrupt things on the defensive end. As Bo Shears blows right past her but can't convert. Catawba down 13, looking for a spark on offense, so they go to Bruce, who's denied. How about the arms of this Catawba or the Carson Newman defense with Katie Bean?
They have a lot of tall players inside, long bodies that can block shots, that can cause deflections, deter shots. So it's going to be tough for Catawba to go up against that inside.
So McIntosh fades away from the pressure. There's Carson Newman, who gave up nearly 90 points in their last game, putting on a defensive display, and a jump ball gives possession to Catawba. There's your spark plug, Lyric Thorne, starting things off with a steal. She does rank 6th in the country in steals.
You know, she plays with such energy, and that's stuff that you can control. Sure, it's been a while since you've played, but you can put in the effort, the focus, going after balls like that. That helps the team.
Shania Downs wants a look. Drives on Smith. Sets up a shooter in Ford. And the three-pointer is off. Second chance, no good. Third opportunity, there it is for Downs.
And there it is, that focus from Downs to stay with it, continue to get the rebounds, and then finish.
These teams are dead even in rebounds this far as Weichel, nifty finish with the foul. Oh, she traveled. Turnover, Braylon Weichel.
You don't see that a lot, but Catawba will take it. Just continue to bring that pressure on Weichel. Let her know you're there.
Here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep.
It was a little, yeah, it's
going up for the turnover.
Moved her foot.
And we'll take the timeout as well. Braylon Weichel will talk it over, and we'll come back with more basketball here in the South Atlantic Conference.
Catawba. But Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here. And it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
Catawba College is a story of transformation. It's a place where students' creativity is fostered, a place of inspiration to go beyond the classroom, a place of belonging no matter who you are. Mentorships, a broad curriculum, and hands-on experiences prepare students for employment and a lifetime of learning. At Catawba, you begin as you are and transform with your interests and experiences. We're Catawba, and we have a good story to tell.
Back inside Goodman Gymnasium. Must be something good on Twitter today. Those fans are pretty busy, but we do have some offense today. And for Carson Newman, they're shooting at 70%. Aaron, what's been clicking for the Eagles this afternoon?
They're so good at shot selection. They take good shots, they move the ball until they have a good look at it. And that's what Coach Mincy was talking about before the game, and the fact that they go inside, they get those really high efficient 2-point looks this year, and that's not usually their style, but it's working for them because of the personnel that they have.
It certainly helps when their core 4 players or all possibly could come back next year, a team that's so young and yet talented at 12th in the country coming into today. There we go. Lyric Thorne has been the big piece of this offense for Catawba today. Triggers it up. Bruce finds Thorne. Here's an NBA range 3, and it's short. Addison Bird comes out with the rebound, the senior from Nashville. One of the lone veterans on this young team.
Thorne really staying on Weichel, making sure that she's not the option.
Bird can score it as well. 2-time all-conference in the sack. And Smith lost it trying to put on a beautiful spin. 11 turnovers now for Carson Newman. Catawba, meanwhile, no player with more than 4 points this afternoon. They have not played in 17 days, getting out of quarantine and COVID procedures. But boy, they're excited, about as energetic as we've ever seen in the pregame leading up to tip.
Yeah, they were fun to watch, just getting ready.
As DeShazo brings the energy from 3.
DeShazo is your 3-point option for the Indians, and if she can get hot, then that will just help the offense start to flow.
A team-high 12th triple for DeShazo. Keep in mind, just game 7 for Catawba this year. Carson Newman, they've played 11 at 10-1. Good drive of the baseline for Bo Shears. Skylar Boshears just 2 weeks ago had a career high of 26 points. A nice 3rd or 4th option for Coach Mincy.
And she has no pressure on her. Just come in and play free.
DeShazo on the shot fake, drawing all the attention in the world, and finally gets a foul on the floor. Just the 2nd team foul of the quarter for Carson Newman. DeShazo went off when these teams last met in this building, 20 points. Let's see who's going to carry the load for Catawba today. An and 1 for Janiah Downs.
It's a great look by Downs. She did this great job being there where they can throw the ball to her and then going straight up with it instead of bringing it back down.
Downs at 10 points a game, the 2nd leading scorer for Coach McCutcheon's club. But she can't hit the free throw. It's been a bugaboo for Downs at just 58%. Sometimes you marvel at a great player at this level, and Braylon Weichel has been putting on a show again today. Already 8 points. Now she's trapped and sets up her teammate in Pierce. Boshears with 8 on the clock. Working around to Bird for 3. And a rebound for Downs. 3-on-1 Catawba. DeShazo the spin. The lefty converts.
Talk about energy. The Catawba bench going crazy after that move by DeShazo. She takes it all the way down the court with a spin move.
Back to a 6-point game. As Goforth works the line as blocked. Boy, Janiah Downs has come to play, the sophomore from China Grove, North Carolina.
This is exactly what she can bring to this team. Goes coast to coast with the spin move around Weichel and finishes.
DeShazo may not have the scoring prowess of last season, where she was all conference, but stepping up tonight with Bird fading away. It's like looking through a Rolodex. The number of contacts that can score double figures just keeps coming for Mike Mincy's club. Granted, none of these girls were alive that had Rolodexes. They're all born 2000 plus.
Yeah, do people still have those?
I keep a couple of contacts from time to time.
I think that you would be one that would do that.
Here's Downs with a triple and back-to-back threes.
The momentum starting to shift in this second quarter. Catawba really starting to settle into their game.
Madison Bird trying to back down Downs. The double down, if you will. Boshear's on the run, can't convert. And now Catawba, on a mini run of 8 points, has gotten themselves back in this ball game.
It started with them on the defensive end, really being able to shut down Weichel, not giving her as many options. They've been giving her a lot of attention, doubling down when she has the ball, not allowing her to make a play offensively, whether it's with a shot or passing it off to another player.
Coach McCutcheon mentioned to us that he's going to lean on his seniors today, get over this 17-day break. And here's Lyric Thorne, the sophomore, trying to take control. Weichel right in her grill. Bruce backs down, gets to the lane, and before the shot, a foul on the floor. What a nice drive by Marissa Bruce, the senior.
Great movement by Catawba to find the best option, find an open lane, and then Bruce just attacked it. And she gets the ball and she just works the defender, goes back and forth and around until she can find an open look. She maintains her focus and makes sure that she gets the foul call.
Thorne backing down Weichel. Making the preseason all-conference player guard her end of the floor. And now Thorne rattles out a three. Great look. But a turnover to Thorne, who takes advantage and draws a foul. 5 team fouls, so free throws for Catawba the rest of the way.
It all starts right here with this steal by Thorne, creating more opportunities for Catawba on the offensive end.
Lyric Thorne to the free throw line, where she was an all-freshman team performer last year. Free throw's been a bugaboo today for Catawba, 2 of 4. And Thorne cuts it to a 4-point game. Carson Newman has won 8 straight in this series, and a ticky-tack foul on Thorne that time, tripping up Weichel.
It's tough. You want to play aggressive defense on Weichel, but you have to make sure that you're still disciplined.
These teams have combined for 10 NCAA tournament appearances. As Carson Newman had got the nod last year. And here they are at 10-1, ranked 12th in the country. And a Catawba team, it's pretty good as well, 5-1. They just haven't played as many games. Speaking of talent, here's Weichel dancing through the lane. And draws the reach in.
Now, Catawba is one of the most undisciplined teams in this conference. They average 24 fouls per game. When you've been off for so much time, that is something that you really need to pay attention to. Make sure that you don't give somebody else extra opportunities to score at the line.
Weichel works the baseline, wanted some contact, and there's a foul. Talia Barnes basically jumped on top of Weichel, and it's going to take her a minute to get back up.
And she goes inside and she fights. Lots of contact. She fell hard. Just a little bit rattled coming down. It looks like as she goes up, she awkwardly comes back and falls on her knee.
Well, that's a lot of force from Talia Barnes, the 6-foot senior. Nearly a 5-second call, and there it is. A turnover for Carson Newman.
It's great to have DeShazo on somebody that's 5'5" on the inbounds because of that reason. She has no option. She can't see over her.
Turnovers, already 17 of them, or pardon me, 14 for Carson Newman. Catawba trailed by as many as 13 in this half. led by their bench, a comeback ensuing. Shot clock at 6 for Bruce, who misses the free throw jumper. Gets her own board for a minute. And last touched by Catawba. Aaron, if you're Catawba, how do you keep the momentum in this final minute and a half of the second quarter?
You got to keep playing the defense that you have been playing, pressure. Sometimes people get excited when they're blocking shots or denying passes, and then that can fuel you on the other end.
Braylon Weichel at 8 points, looks to get some help. And she traveled in the corner.
And there you go. You see the women, they're pumping their fists, they're clapping. Getting a stop can just really fuel you throughout a game.
Tough to slow down Braylon Weichel. Right now ranks 4th in the country in scoring, but Catawba's done its part, holding her to 8 points. First minutes here for Jada Davey, the junior from Gastonia. And a steal for Weichel, who keeps it in play. Weichel wants some points as well, and she's fouled on the way up.
That was a little bit of a late whistle.
I tell you what, though, Braylon Weichel can bring it on the physical end of the floor.
Oh, she's definitely not afraid, and she's great at swiping for balls, creating steals, and then driving down to the other end.
A rare miss for Weichel is at 87% from the free throw line. You guessed it, among the top in the country again, at 29th in the country.
Most of what she does is right up there with some of the best in the country.
Hard pressed to find a better player. Maybe Allie Shute from Lubbock Christian, the top team in the country, but otherwise, Mike was right in that conversation. DeShazo comes up short. And a tough save. We get a timeout call by Carson Newman. Nice job by Goforth to keep it in play. And here, if you're Mike Mincy, his club was on the precipice of making a deep tournament run last year. Their season gets cut short with COVID-19, but of course now this team is even more talented than this year. Got to be plenty of optimism for his staff here with this final month of the season.
They're so talented, and they are getting so much production from the younger women on this roster, which means they're going to be good for a while. The rest of the conference better watch out. They have sophomores that are leading this team right now in Weichel, and then we have Taylor, who transferred in as a junior. So we have some really good women that are going to be here for a year or 2 years that are kind of carrying this team. It's really impressive.
And worth noting this week, the Division II conference has announced that Jefferson City, there at the Holt Fieldhouse, they'll host the Southeast Regional in the D2 tournament. That's coming up in just about 3 weeks. So a chance to play at home if they keep up this prolific record at 10-1. Try to punch their ticket. Because the goal is to get to Columbus for the Elite Eight this year. Final seconds of this first half for Carson Newman, who's led from the jump. Weichel works on an island, blows by her defender, and draws a foul with 2 on the shot clock.
McCutcheon not pleased with the way that the Indians are fouling right now. It really kind of messes up your rhythm, and they were in such a good place being able to score off of what they're doing on the defensive end.
Terrence McCutcheon in his second year running the program as Weichel connects on the free throw. Weichel looks to get to 10 points with his free throw. And there you go, double figures yet again. Shania Downs looks up with 7 and hands it off to DeShazo. Back down low to Downs. Lost it. And Weichel lets the clock run out. That's the end of half number 1 here in Salisbury. The Carson Newman Eagles at 12th in the country, up by 7. Some adjustments for Coach McCutcheon. We come back after this here in the South Atlantic Conference. Couple of big heavy hitters in the league. It's Carson Newman up 7 at the break.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
We're looking to create counselors to be client-centered and to be humanistic in your process. We're looking to serve, and we're hoping that individuals who come here have a mindset that they want to make a difference in someone's life.
Just the fact that it's a master's in clinical mental health counseling, it just opens you up to a variety of potential jobs. So I think Catawba's foundations are really strong and they offer just a really good program.
What makes Catawba's sport management program unique is the geographic location where we are. We're close to Charlotte, Winston-Salem, and Greensboro, so we have access to the ACC, Panthers, NBA, NASCAR, and multiple minor league baseball teams that are right in our backyard.
Know that it's a community, that's a family, and I felt like family ever since I came here and been a part of the sport management program.
We believe that understanding the industry that you're involved in, being prepared for it, and finding the opportunities and initiatives that appear is the key to success as a leader.
It's almost like a family. You get to know everybody, you get to know the students, they get to know each other. So I think that's a big advantage we have.
Carson Newman, the 12th ranked team in the country, leads by 7 here at halftime in Goodman Gymnasium in Salisbury. Welcome back courtside here with Aaron Summers. I'm Evan Budrovich. And Aaron, despite the 15 turnovers, Carson Newman is shooting the basketball at 70%. What's impressed you about their offense today?
They're just so good with moving the ball around and finding the best option on the court. It hasn't always been Weichel, although she does have 10 points right now, but they have other options out there, and they're finding them. They're finding good shots, efficient shots, whether it's inside or an open look outside.
Catawba has not played in 17 days, but Tanaya Downs with 9 points, really the spark plug of this comeback.
And we said it was going to be somebody that has a lot of experience that could come in and help lead this team, fuel them, give them some energy. Started slow, but she's definitely helped them as the game has gone on. The second quarter, they looked a lot better, more in rhythm, more used to game action, the speed of play. Good for them to go get a little break right now, I'm sure. Kind of rest a little bit and then come back out strong in the third.
Carson Newman looks for a 9th straight win in this series. We'll have the second half when we return from Goodman Gymnasium in Salisbury.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
if you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
We're looking to create counselors to be client-centered and to be humanistic in your process. We're looking to serve, and we're hoping that individuals who come here have a mindset that they want to make a difference in someone's life.
Just the fact that it's a master's in clinical mental health counseling, it just opens you up to a variety of potential jobs. So I think Catawba's foundations are really strong and they offer just a really good program.
What makes Catawba's sport management program unique is the geographic location where we are. We're close to Charlotte, Winston-Salem, and Greensboro, so we have access to the ACC, Panthers, NBA, NASCAR, and multiple minor league baseball teams that are right in our backyard.
Know that it's a community, that's a family, and I felt like family ever since I came here and been a part of the sport management program.
We believe that understanding the industry that you're involved in, being prepared for it, and finding the opportunities and initiatives that appear is the key to success as a leader.
It's almost like a family. You get to know everybody, you get to know the students, they get to know each other. So I think that's a big advantage we have.
Halftime here in Goodman Gymnasium. It's Carson Newman up 7. They've led from the jump, and Aaron, early on in this game, the Eagles came to play on the offensive end.
The Eagles have done a good job getting out quick and then taking good shots. Getting inside, we've seen them score near the basket so many times, but then they can also score on different levels. So kind of throwing it both ways today. A lot of production from Weichel. She leads with 11 points, and then getting it from other people, as that's another one of their good producers inside.
7 players have scored in this first half, but Weichel leads the charge with 11.
And you see her pulling up from outside as well. 3 threes for the Carson Newman Eagles to start the game. Shooting 60% overall right now, just incredibly efficient. And then Catawba on the other side, trying to figure out their offensive flow. It took a little while, but now they're getting in the paint and then dishing it out. Moving around the perimeter, creating opportunities with steals on the defensive end, taking it to the basket.
12 points off turnovers, and that helped Catawba get back into this game.
The turnovers have been huge. That intensity on both ends of the court really started them getting it in their flow. You mentioned it. You said the turnovers. Carson Newman has 15 turnovers, and that was a point of focus for them coming into this game, knowing they're against a Catawba team that likes to turn you over. Catawba leads the league in turnovers forced, and they get a lot of points off of those turnovers. They average 22 points off of turnovers so far today. They have 12, so they're in a good pace there. Rebounds right now. On the offensive end, Catawba, they have 9 rebounds. So although they're not scoring as efficiently as the Carson Newman team is, they are creating additional opportunities for themselves inside with those offensive rebounds. Right now, 3 threes apiece for both sides, although Carson Newman is taking better looks from outside than the Indians are. We'll see how things progress in the next half of play, but we'll be back with more from halftime here at Goodman Gymnasium after this.
I'm going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
We're looking to create counselors to be client-centered and to be humanistic in your process. We're looking to serve, and we're hoping that individuals who come here have a mindset that they want to make a difference in someone's life.
Just the fact that it's a master's in clinical mental health counseling, it just opens you up to a variety of potential jobs. So I think Catawba's foundations are really strong, and they offer just a really good program.
What makes Catawba's sport management program unique is the geographic location where we are. We're close to Charlotte, Winston-Salem, and Greensboro, so we have access to the ACC, Panthers, NBA, NASCAR, and multiple minor league baseball teams that are right in our backyard.
Know that it's a community, that's a family, and I felt like family ever since I came here and been a part of the sport management program.
We believe that understanding the industry that you're involved in, being prepared for it, and finding the opportunities and initiatives that appear is the key to success as a leader.
It's almost like a family. You get to know everybody, you get to know the students, they get to know each other. So I think that's a big advantage we have.
Carson Newman up 7 at the break here inside Goodman Gymnasium as we're just about ready for the start of the second half. I mentioned coming in, Carson Newman, the 12th ranked team in the country, but how about the top of these standings in the South Atlantic Conference, Aaron? Catawba at 5-1, trying to nip the heels of Tusculum and Carson Newman. There's some good teams at the top of this league.
Carson Newman had that one loss, and it was to LMU. We see them down there middle of the pack, but since that loss, the Eagles have really put a lot of focus on defense and making sure that they are doing as well on the defensive end as they are offensively, and they've really been rolling with winning 4 straight.
Carson Newman as a club looking to build on last year's success, top 3 in the league. They have a chance to win a title this year. Catawba picked 3rd in the preseason. Yeah, how about that? Sitting right there at 5-1 overall in the league. And Aaron, this year a little bit different in the South Atlantic Conference. Every team qualifies for the conference tournament, opening up some doors for teams like Lenore Ryan and Newberry.
Definitely, and it also takes a lot of the pressure off of the Indians, who haven't played as many games, to not really worry about the outcome of the games, but just to try to get as good as they can every single opportunity that they have to be on the court, so that they're in their rhythm, they're rolling coming into the tournament.
So we've had the pleasure in this game of seeing a couple of all-conference players, Braylon Weichel and Tasia DeShazo. So far today, though, it's been for Catawba's side of things, how about the bench play of Janiyah Downs with 9 points, and Thorne has 5 as well, a team that doesn't have as many reps like you mentioned, but they found that rhythm forcing those turnovers here today.
And that's what they do so well. We mentioned that they lead the league, and they're 23rd in the nation in turnovers forced. They usually force just under 22 per game. Well, that's a good amount, but that it's not so much just that they turn people over, but they score off of those turnovers. We've seen that so far in the first half of play, and it's really fueled them on the offensive end.
For Carson Newman, what else can you say about their offense? When they lead at halftime, they've yet to lose a game this year, and now up 7 at the break. Weichel and crew with 11, and already 7 different players have scored for Mike Mincy's club. That's what he wants to see out of his Eagles this afternoon.
They're just doing such a good job scoring from everywhere on the court. They're so efficient inside the paint this year. They've had 30-plus points in the paint 6 different times, and that's such a different look from Carson Newman than we've seen in years past. It's been really fun seeing them kind of change up their offensive game plan this year.
How about this schedule coming up? 2 road games at Coker and at Limestone, and then a chance for redemption in what Coach Mincy called their worst game of the year, losing at Lincoln Memorial. They get a home date at the end of the month to close out the regular season, and some winnable games on that schedule. We saw the standings earlier. Chance to maybe finish out the year 15-16-1 heading into the tournament.
People usually say that those last games before tournaments sometimes are trap games because you kind of already solidified standings and where you want to go with it. However, for them, the Eagles are definitely going to be looking at that LMU game and wanting to make sure that they do get that redemption, and it's not sitting there in the back of their minds heading into the tournament that they couldn't beat this team.
The Catawba Indians, of course, have only played 6 games. Their schedule could change at any moment, but right now, a road-heavy stretch at Anderson, a good team in this league, and then, of course, at Wingate to close out the rough draft of the regular season. But I have a feeling that Coach McCutcheon's club has plenty of games coming up down the stretch.
The Indians are going to have to get a lot of their conditioning from live game action. They're not going to have a lot of time to run tough practices because they're playing almost every other couple days. It's going to be a lot of film watching, a lot of rehab, trying to make sure that they can stay at their best level of play so that they're ready to go when tournament time starts.
Okay, Aaron, so Catawba leads the all-time series 38-33, but don't tell Coach Mincy's club that. They've won 8 straight matchups. What does Catawba have to do to come back in this game and pick up a critical win?
They have to continue to do what was working in the first half, which is playing really aggressive defense, especially on Weichel. They did really good job doubling down on her and denying her opportunities, and then creating opportunities to turn the ball over as well. As they were getting in the lane, they were getting hands out, they were pressuring the ball. We need to continue to see that type of defensive play in the 3rd and 4th in order to start fueling their offense a little bit more and denying Carson Newman the ability to score.
Well, the good news for Coach McCutcheon's club, they've brought the energy today. Haven't played a game since January 25th. They lead this conference in steals and have already forced 15 turnovers, so they're doing their part on the defensive end. Just need a little bit of that offense to click, at least in our eyes, to come back in half number 2.
And they need to make sure that they stay disciplined on the court. We saw a couple fouls there, and they don't want to get in the area where they're fouling and allowing the Eagles more opportunities to score by getting to the line.
Mike Mincy in his 10th year with this program looks for win number 193 as a head coach in Carson Newman, and he was telling us coming in he had two goals and some opportunities for this group to get back to the NCAA tournament and to win a league title. They're in a good position here at 10-1.
He's done a great job there at Carson Newman. They've been to 4 NCAA tournaments. He was the conference coach of the year that 17-18 season when they did so well. Just really good record overall as well. He's just been really competitive.
And with that, we begin the second half. Carson Newman will have the basketball. On offense, that's top 10 in field goal percentage, assists, and scoring. A little bit down on their averages right now. Give Catawba credit in the first 20 minutes. Lindsay Taylor was a beast in the first half, but she gives it away.
You heard the Catawba bench yelling D up. They're definitely focused on defense. Cause a turnover there.
Sesame Street word of the day, D for defense, and that's what Catawba's going to have to do to shut down an offense that scores 84 a night. By the way, Sesame Street in year 60 of its existence. Seeing that this week. The Cookie Monster eats a little healthier. Speaking of cookies, there's a gift of a foul.
How do you know this stuff?
When you have the nieces and nephews, you learn a lot.
All right, I was worried what you usually do on Saturday mornings or something. I don't even know when Sesame Street's on.
I was a big Clifford the Big Red Dog fan before 8 a.m. when CBS Sunday Morning would come on the weekends. Nonetheless, here's Lyric Thorne slashing to the lane. A little bit off on the shot. And it'll be Carson Newman basketball on the turnover. Both teams a bit turnover prone, 16 for the Eagles and now 10 for Catawba.
Which is to be expected from Catawba since they haven't been playing games. They aren't, in the rhythm of playing with each other, only getting to be able to practice together for the first time last night.
There's Harley Smith in the middle of the zone. Carson Newman at 60% from the field. It's led by Weichel, who misses. Taylor blocked, but she's fouled on the way up. And the Furman transfer goes to the free throw line.
We said it earlier in the game, but Taylor, she's just such a strong player inside. She just is a great option for the Eagles. If they need points, they know that she's down there, and she is going to find them whether it's off the first shot or at the line.
Taylor was the player of the week 2 weeks ago in the South Atlantic Conference, where she averaged 18 and 12. But missing on the free throw, keeping her at 6 points tonight. Catawba's first game back since January 25th. The offense looking to pick up with the defense. As that jumper is missed, Barnes couldn't finish it off. Carson Newman this year, still a top 5 offense, but they've changed their approach, working it in the post with a player like Taylor who can't finish off the layup. That's been a big reason why they've changed their offense.
They have a lot of good post players this year, and that's been a focus for them.
DeShazo barely touched the backboard. And a turnover once again for Catawba. A little out of sorts to open up half number 2.
Catawba bringing that pressure, making sure that they stay on the ball handler, especially when it's Weichel.
There's a steal for Catawba again. They're 23rd in the country. Everyone's chasing West Virginia State as the best team forcing those turnovers. Now can they turn into points? Here's Ford backing down Smith, and she goes to the free throw line.
And turning those turnovers into points, you have to get down quicker. You have to get down before the defense is able to set up. You see Ford going into the lane here, bumping up against the defense. It looks like Smith inside, able to get the call for contact.
Catawba makes 14 free throws a game. That's their specialty. And there's Ford with her first. Remember, Carson Newman led by 13 early in the second quarter, and all of a sudden Catawba hanging around at home here in the third.
Catawba really started to settle down in the second, kind of picking back up where they left off.
You see Taylor Goforth check in. And Ford takes a breather for Catawba. And Sarah McIntosh returns.
I mean, that depth that Catawba has is huge for them, especially in a game like today where they haven't been playing. And they have 18 players on their bench that they can go to.
Their bench is 3 rows deep.
Yeah.
A hockey-style substitution for Coach Terrence McCutcheon in the second year. Look at Taylor running the lane, but air ball in the shot. Goforth is stripped, and it'll stay here.
And you can see the focus of the Catawba defense. It's Weichel, and then it's inside on the post players, not wanting anyone to get the easier looks inside.
Here's a 3 for Bird. And Taylor, the last to touch it, it goes to Catawba. Carson Newman in the second half. They have yet to hit a shot from the field.
You see big smiles from DeShazo. She's running up the court. And these women are just so happy to be back on the court, back playing games. It's been really hard. They've gone through 3 different pauses throughout the season.
And DeShazo again short on the 3. It's an over the back foul. And that's Janiyah Downs reaching over. Catawba trying to force some turnovers once again. They've already forced 17 of them, nearly an 18. As Thorne was out of bounds. Terrence McCutcheon has experience at this level, assisted at Newberry 5 years ago. Now he's the head man here. Bird dumps it to Taylor, using her size in the left.
The Eagles have had a lot of success on those baseline entry passes. Anytime that they drive the baseline and pass it off, they've usually contributed to points.
McIntosh a bit short, but I like the move. And possession stays here with Catawba. The Indians in their last game only scored 61 points. They're right on track midway through the third. More to their credit, they've slowed down an impressive Carson Newman offense that ranks 9th in the country in scoring. Downs had an option in the post. Instead takes her turn at the basket and a bit ill-advised. I'll say one thing, Aaron. Neither team's had a clean look at the bucket in the lane today.
No, and both teams coming in knew that that was going to be a point of focus.
Taylor draws a foul on McIntosh. Already 3 team fouls for Carson Newman, or for Catawba, I should say.
You know, Carson Newman with their size really like to play inside. And then Catawba just so good at getting rebounds. It's definitely an interesting matchup.
There was some contact and some more contact that Taylor finishes off. Lindsay Taylor, a beast in the paint. Needs just 4 rebounds for her 6th career double-double. And back to an 11-point game. Catawba at home, just 1-1 this year. They've been road warriors, off to a 4-0 start away from Salisbury. Now McIntosh back in the paint, gets the friendly roll.
McIntosh fighting for position inside and was able to get a clean look. And right back on the defense for the Indians.
Here's Goforth to Bird, back to Taylor, who lost it. And it's 18 turnovers for Carson Newman.
No look pass inside to McIntosh. It was a great finish for her.
And she pleaded her case for that foul, wanted an and one. John Holmes did not grant her wish. Lauren Ford, number 4, back in the game for Catawba. And she sets up Downs for 3, and the corner pocket is true.
And it all started with the ball movement, drawing the defense out away from the corner and then finding an open look.
Speaking of great finds, nearly had Taylor, and it's last touch by Carson Newman. 3 straight possessions with a turnover. We have a timeout, and Catawba wants to keep this rolling. Back within 6. Plenty of good basketball we return here from Salisbury.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
We're looking to create counselors to be client-centered and to be humanistic in your process. We're looking to serve, and we're hoping that individuals who come here have a mindset that they want to make a difference in someone's life.
Just the fact that it's a master's in clinical mental health counseling, it just opens you up to a variety of potential jobs. So I think Catawba's foundations are really strong and they offer just a really good program.
Catawba in the midst of a 5-0 run, cutting this game back to 6 points. Carson Newman's won 8 straight in this series. Their last loss, gotta go back to 2016. And yet, Catawba has not played in 2.5 weeks. They're showing great energy to slow down this Carson Newman club in the second half.
Sometimes adrenaline, just being back on the court, can fuel you and bring you some extra energy, even if you might be getting tired because you haven't really been doing the same type of conditioning every day. You haven't been on campus. These women some of them had to go home and be quarantined, not knowing the kind of ability that they had to be on the court.
And Terrence McCutcheon told us they had to change things up completely. Totally different than the way things were before with this program. And the energy's been there. Obviously, Janiah Downs with 12 points, a huge part of it. But Coach McCutcheon has to be pleased with his team's effort tonight.
I spoke to him yesterday before the game, and it was before their practice Friday afternoon, and he was very honest about, I don't know what we're going to have tomorrow because this is the 3rd time that we've been paused, and it's been hard on everybody mentally. Definitely a good response from Catawba today.
Downs continues to attack. Give her 5 games in double figures. $11 points now for Downs, who leads the charge. Weichel has yet to score in this second half. Kicks it out to Boshears, and the hands all over the place. Stand back there to knock it out. Laren, you keyed on Shemaiah Standback coming in. She's done a great job slowing down Weichel today.
Standback's such a smart player, and she moves so well that she's been great.
Well, couldn't stop Weichel that time.
On the defensive end most of the time.
Pretty deep range as well. Now Standback takes her turn and draws the foul as if Aaron Summers inspired her going to the free throw line, the senior.
Yeah, we were trying to, make me look good over here, and then she makes me look bad, so stepping up on the other end, helping me out.
Nonetheless, for Standback, has yet to score today, but has been a big-time scorer, 12 a night. The top dog for the Indians.
You can hear the Catawba fans in the building. There's a few of them here. I think they're allowing about 25 here, but really happy to be back in the building. Have something to cheer for.
Especially for this team who hasn't played since the end of January. Now Carson Newman, who has just 1 loss on the season. Can they overcome a slow start to the 3rd? Goforth, a great find, and the foul on the pass. Taylor Goforth, only 13 minutes a night, but is contributing well today.
And again, it was on that baseline drive. The ability to get inside that way has been what the Eagles have been able to do.
So that's the 5th team foul. Free throws the rest of the quarter for Carson Newman. And as if to add to any of their accolades already, they're a 72% free throw team.
We mentioned the fouls becoming an issue for Catawba, being an issue for them all season, and something you don't want to let happen in a game with a team that scores as well as they do already from the floor.
What's interesting in this league, so they shoot 72%. That's 5th best in the South Atlantic Conference. There's some good free throw shooting teams in this league. Stand back, surveys. Wants a 3, now launches the wing 3 and gets it to bounce in. Closest it's been since the first minute. First minutes for Quay Hines off the bench, number 23 in the blue. Hines comes in right away and attacks the bucket. Goforth able to save it. And that's a turnover for Taylor Goforth. 20 giveaways for Carson Newman.
Eagles definitely rattled. Catawba's done a really good job of playing disruptive defense, and it's getting to the Eagles.
Carson Newman has scored 80 points in 7 of the last 9 games. You're going to have to win on the defensive end tonight. Great move. Sets up a shooter in Bruce. This is for the tie, and short. How about a steal? Second chance, Shepard, and Stanback's got it.
Stanback with back-to-back buckets and the steal, bringing her team within 1 point.
It's an 8-0 run. Cutting this game to 1. Taylor backing down, using her size, and completing the layup.
The Indians really pushing the pace.
Stanback drives the baseline. That's a tough angle. Good defense by Weichel. Braylon Weichel, 14 points tonight. She's the 4th leading scorer in the country. Working it down to Taylor. There's a lot of contact and a foul. Free throws here for Carson Newman. That's the 3rd foul on Lauren Ford.
I mean, it's hard when you're down there in the paint fighting against somebody that has such presence like Taylor does. I mean, she's going to battle, and she knows that typically it's going to end up in her favor.
Lindsey Taylor, and Coach Mincy was quick to admit it, maybe the most productive post scorer he's ever had in 10 years, and this is just Taylor's first true year with the program.
She finishes at such a high rate inside, just such a strong player.
Reason why she's averaging 15 and 9 per game. And right now, we got a tight one. So much pressure from Weichel on Thorne, and a blocking foul on Braylon Weichel. I also appreciate how these officials are letting both teams play a little bit today with a physical Catawba defense against a prolific offense.
Yeah, I think that you got to let them kind of get into the game some. You don't have to call everything so tight. Good amount of fouls, but nothing crazy.
John Holmes, Wyatt Howard, and Joe Spencer, our crew today. Thorne off the pick. Shot clock at 3. And Bruce couldn't hang on to it, a turnover.
The ball movement, the trying to go inside and then kick it out. Good ideas by Catawba. The execution just hasn't been there every time.
Marissa Bruce had 2 points off the bench in the first half, but gives that one away. Now can Carson Newman stop this run? It's 10-2 in favor of Catawba. Weichel doubled. Now an open shooter and Goforth cuts to the free throw line and misses. Rebound Taylor. Back out to Hines for 3.
It was a late contest, but the Indians did get there. Unfortunately, it did not matter as Hines was able to drop that.
5th 3 of the night for Carson Newman. Little ISO ball for Downs, who backs it out. Look at Downs wanting to drive in. Now sets up Thorne. Here's a catch and shoot triple. It's pure.
Getting an outside game going will benefit Catawba so much because right now the lane is so clogged with people. If they can establish that outside shot, it'll make the Eagles have to respect them from out there.
Madison Bunch is stolen. This is Thorne. Thorne runs coast to coast, and it's a 1-point game.
Great transition basket.
Catawba's come to play in this third quarter, outscoring Carson Newman by 4, and it's a 1-point difference. Fourth quarter coming up when we return here from Goodman Gymnasium.
College is a story of transformation. It's a place where students' creativity is fostered, a place of inspiration to go beyond the classroom, a place of belonging no matter who you are. Mentorships, a broad curriculum, and hands-on experiences prepare students for employment and a lifetime of learning. At Catawba, you begin as you are and transform with your interests and experiences. We're Catawba, and we have a good story to tell.
We believe that understanding the industry that you're involved in, being prepared for it, and finding the opportunities and initiatives that appear is the key to success as a leader.
It's almost like a family. You get to know everybody, you get to know the students, they get to know each other. So I think that's a big advantage we have.
Carson Newman up just 1 as we enter this fourth quarter, but Catawba has been on a run. 5-0 spurt to end the third, Aaron, thanks to their defense.
It all started on the defensive end with this steal by Lyric Thorne. She takes it the distance, hard to the basket, able to finish the play. What Catawba has been doing and fueling them throughout this game, the defense leading to offense.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's desperation brings out the best in these student athletes, and Catawba has not played in 17 days. They look hungry tonight and put on a good display against the 12th ranked Carson Newman club.
This fourth quarter is where it will get interesting for the Indians. They haven't had as much playing time. They've been off for a significant amount of time throughout this season. Will their legs last throughout this game? Can they continue to play that defensive pressure and be aggressive as they have this whole first part of the game?
You see Terrence McCutcheon talking things over, the Pfeiffer grad, who started his career as an assistant at Pfeiffer. Now here's the head coach in year number 2.
He came on last year towards the end of the season, took over the team as the Catawba head coach left the program. We had a little bit of the end of the year there, heading into the conference tournament. This is his first full season as a head coach. Crazy season to be a head coach for the first time. But he said, hey, I've learned a lot. I've had to be creative, and now I know how to handle basically anything that could get thrown at me.
He said he's the most prepared coach in all of basketball for year 1, and I thought Mike Mincy, what his offense has been able to do all season long, but tonight, a slower start. They're shooting the ball well, but 22 turnovers have slowed down the Eagles. Zone defense for Carson Newman forces a turnover. Now Weichel off the pick, jumps into a 3, and a nice start for Weichel. "17 points for the 4th leading scorer in Division II basketball. Taylor jumps in front and forces a giveaway. Catawba was trying to dump it down low to Barnes. Weichel now, and an offensive foul. That's Smith with the illegal pick. 4 fouls now for Smith, who'll have to head to the bench.
It's another turnover by the Eagles. Now Catawba getting another opportunity to make the most of it.
I like this decision here for Mike Mincy, keeping Smith on the floor with 4 and making her play disciplined on defense. She has to guard Janiyah Downs, who's the top scorer for Catawba today with 14.
And Downs should go at her hard, knowing that.
Barnes on Taylor, has it stripped by Bird, and a great steal. Oh, Taylor tripped. Might have rolled her ankle as well, and a little insult to injury. I hope Taylor's all right as she falls to the floor.
I don't know if she slipped or if she just, yeah, her ankle gave out as she planted. Let's see if we can see what happened on this replay.
Ooh, that right ankle for Taylor.
Stepped funny on her ankle as she went to turn.
A sophomore from Maryville, Tennessee, who's been very productive this year. Down on the floor right now. Very unfortunate to see.
It's a tough injury for anybody to have. You know, seeing her getting assistance from the athletic trainer right now, taking her shoe off. I'm sure she's in a lot of pain. Just hope it's nothing more than just a sprain or a twist.
You see Mike Mincy over there checking on his star forward. Well, good news for now. Lindsay gets back to her feet. That's great to see.
And she's walking. She's putting a little bit of pressure on that foot. It's a good sign.
But if you're Carson Newman now, at least for the next couple of minutes, you got to find some production without Taylor, who's 2 rebounds away from a double-double.
And on the other side of it, Catawba should go hard inside without having Taylor's presence there.
So Lindsay Taylor to the bench for a couple of minutes. Sydney Pierce checks in, the 6'3" Johnson, Tennessee product. And how about Downs? Backing down Smith. Catawba is within 2. Harley Smith takes it the other way. Into some contact and count it. Well, hold on a second here. The officials confer, and it's a blocking foul. McCutcheon can't believe it, and Harley Smith goes to the free throw line.
Yeah, everybody in this building wanted that to be called for a charge. She does come in fast and hard, but I don't know, she's kind of sliding a little bit towards the end. Tough call.
Harley Smith, a 64% free throw shooter, hits that one. And a crucial call. That would have fouled Smith out of the game if it's the other way. Instead, a 5-point lead. You mentioned the legs, Aaron, for Catawba. Let's see if they can get some offense cooking here down 5. There's a block for Pierce.
Pierce is somebody that gets a lot of playing time. She is the one that comes in when Taylor gets into foul trouble. Happens every once in a while with the big players inside. They get to bumping and fouls happen.
She ranks top 5 in this league in blocks, and showing you why. Good ball movement, but DeShazo couldn't hang on to it, and a costly turnover for Catawba. These teams are so different on offense, Aaron. Catawba just 36% shooting, but they've taken advantage, forcing those 24 turnovers.
They've had so many more opportunities on the offensive end.
I don't think that's actually a 10-second call, but that's what they're going to claim here.
They called it 10 seconds, but it just...
I believe the ball was already passed.
Over and back?
No, the referee said 10 seconds.
He did say 10.
Nonetheless, add to the turnover totals, 24 of them now for Carson Newman. Lyric Thorne's back in, finding DeShazo. Tasia been a bit quiet tonight, just 7 points, and a great steal by Bird. Bird up ahead. The drive from Boshears is blocked, and it'll stay here with Carson Newman. Eagles up 5, looking for a 5th road win. Bird, pop, lock in, can't hit the jumper. Back comes Standback. Transition to Downs, who works the lane, and Catawba nearly had the lead.
Almost got the rebound, but not quite enough.
Bird to her same spot. This time calls bank.
It's a spot she likes. She knows when she gets there, she's going to pull up.
4 points for Addison Bird, the senior out of Nashville. Here's a deep triple for Downs, and it's a 4-point game.
Big shot from Downs. Pulls them within 4. It was almost looking like it was going to get away from them here.
Catawba averages 7 threes a game. They just hit their 7th. There was 6 minutes to play. Braylon Weichel trying to take over, the 4th leading scorer in the country. Steps back for 3 and responds.
Weichel always delivering in the big moments. Her team needing some shots right now. She steps up in a big way with that 3.
20 points for the 21st time in her career. We have a reach-in foul on Catawba. That's Marissa Bruce, or Boshears with on the foul that time.
And this is what we saw in the Indians' last game, albeit it's been a while, but they had that loss against Tusculum. They were leading for a lot of that game, but down the stretch, the defense started to kind of become a little more messy, a little undisciplined defensively. They weren't playing with as much mental focus in the last minutes of the game, and that game got away from them.
Catawba commits more fouls than any team in this league. They're trying to hang on with some foul trouble in the second half. Thorne slashes in, beats Pierce to the bucket, but couldn't finish. And it stays here with Carson Newman. Thorne wants options, finds DeShazo, who launches a 3 and comes up short. Second chance, stand back. Now Thorne with a corner 3.
Another rebound.
And a save to Downs. DeShazo traveled in the lane. And so many opportunities for Coach Terrence McCutcheon. They just couldn't convert.
So tough when you get so many chances and you just can't get a basket. But it's good that Catawba is continuing to fight. They're trying to get those rebounds.
It's been the Weichel show tonight. 20 points yet again. Something she's done so many times in her career. Bird dumps it down low, and it's stolen by DeShazo. Back come the Indians, down 7. DeShazo blocked by Pierce. 3 blocks for the forward. Now Smith in transition. Out to Boshears. Nifty move. Boshears, the teardrop, no good.
The Indians need to make the most of these possessions.
And an excellent bank by McIntosh.
Great job getting down the court quicker, being able to score in transition. Now they need to stop on the defensive end.
5 minutes to go here in Salisbury. Carson Newman 10-1 on the year, trying to avoid a road loss. And there's a turnover for Harley Smith. Thorne runs the break, goes right to the basket, and Thorne rolls it home.
Thorne's been stepping up in a big way. She's had several points, key steals in this game. You know, just a sophomore, but really helping her team today.
Timeout on the court. Catawba hanging around down 3 in the 4th. We'll have the final minutes and we return from Salisbury, North Carolina.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
Catawba College is a story of transformation. It's a place where students' creativity is fostered, a place of inspiration to go beyond the classroom, a place of belonging no matter who you are. Mentorships, a broad curriculum, and hands-on experiences prepare students for employment and a lifetime of learning. At Catawba, you begin as you are and transform with your interests and experiences. We're Catawba, and we have a good story to tell.
Catawba hanging around down 3 in this fourth quarter, searching for their first win in 9 tries against the 12th ranked Carson Newman Eagles. All of a sudden a 5-0 run for Coach Terrence McCutcheon's club, and it started forcing turnovers. They've had 27 here today.
They've had 27 points off of turnovers, which is incredible. Catawba really good at turning people over. Kind of weird that it's 27 turnovers, 27 points scored off of those turnovers, but that's their average. Usually it's 22 and 22.
I call it weirdly efficient.
It's very good.
Certainly for Catawba, needing a spark. They haven't played since January 25th out with COVID protocols. And tonight, you mentioned Stanback coming in. She's got 7. And it's the Janiyah Downs show, 19 points. That's a new season high for Downs. Taylor Goforth to trigger it in for Carson Newman. Club that is 5-1 on the road. Their lone loss at the end of January against Lincoln Memorial. Birch has the assignment of Weichel. Works the switch. And an offensive foul on Weichel. Oh, nope. McIntosh call for the foul. Is our official a little misleading there with the decision?
I thought that he signaled travel.
And we have immediate timeout. 4:25 to go. Carson Newman trying to hang on to a 3-point lead.
Everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
We're looking to create counselors to be client-centered and to be humanistic in your process. We're looking to serve, and we're hoping that individuals who come here have a mindset that they want to make a difference in someone's life.
Just the fact that it's a master's in clinical mental health counseling, it just opens you up to a variety of potential jobs. So I think Catawba's foundations are really strong, and they offer just a really good program.
Carson Newman, the 12th ranked team in the country, on the edge of a tight one here in this fourth quarter. Braylon Weichels led the story with 20 points for the Eagles. That's the 24th time in her career she's done that, so Weichel can certainly play. And now can the Eagles get some complementary pieces to step up in these final 4 minutes?
Good to see that Taylor's back in the game. She is definitely walking gingerly on that ankle, but she's going to come in and fight with her team.
Catawba has outscored Carson Newman by 4 points in the second half. Waiting for the all clear to get us started with 4:25 to go. Skylar Boshears to trigger it in. And there we go.
A little issue at the scoring table, I think.
Carson Newman averages 84 a night. They've been slowed down tonight by Catawba. This is Goforth dumping it down to Taylor, who lost it.
You can see Taylor wincing in pain every time she runs down the court.
Stanback sets up the offense. Taylor playing with an injured ankle. She rolled it late in this fourth quarter. Downs underneath. Using her size and can't convert. Second chance Downs, and she's hacked on the way up.
A hard foul. Downs has been so impressive. She's been able to get her own rebounds on so many occasions. She fights inside, goes up once, right there for the rebound, and goes back up even harder and gets the foul call.
So it looks like Taylor's going to take a break for the rest of the night. That ankle gave it a try, and not going to be able to finish this one out. Lindsay Taylor had 14 points and 8 rebounds tonight.
I think it's huge that she gave it a shot, tried to come back in, and cannot fault her for not wanting to play through that.
So now the size advantage a bit different as Sydney Pierce comes back in, the 6'3" junior. How about this career night for Downs? 20 points. And the free throw misses, keeping it a 2-point game. Good rebound by Goforth. Carson Newman led by 7 with 5 minutes to play. It has gotten tight here in Salisbury as Boshears is fouled. Just the 3rd team foul on Catawba.
The McIntosh comes out on the help defense, bumps.
DeShazo returns now for Catawba. An all-conference player coming into the year. Let's see if she can step it up for the Indians. Weichel blows by, looking to find Pierce and lost it again. Catawba could take the lead with a 3.
They do not have to settle for a 3, though. They don't have to force a 3. It's not a good look.
Their last lead was never. Just showing you how dominant this 12th ranked team Carson Newman is. McIntosh ties it up. Three minutes to go. Carson Newman's won 8 straight in this series.
Carson Newman has to play efficient right now. Make sure that they're getting good opportunities, and that was not one. He needed to move the ball more, find a better option.
DeShazo into the lane, finds Stamback, and wisely takes her time with 2:38 to go. Catawba can taste it. Their first game since the end of January, and putting the top-ranked team in the South Atlantic Conference to the gun. DeShazo on Weichel. Good strip by Weichel. Up ahead, Boshears to the bucket. Wanted the foul, and she gets the call. Free throws for Skylar Boshears.
Let's take another look at this. As you see Boshears coming in, she's past the basket, leans back, and is able to catch contacts from Stanback. Tough call. It was a little bit late on the whistle. And I don't know if you can hear the crowd, but they're not pleased with the foul calls over the past few minutes. But of course, the home team's never going to be happy if it's a call against you.
How about this? Carson Newman shooting free throws under 4 minutes to go, 82%. I want to appreciate the folks at Carson Newman with excellent research leading up to this broadcast. So it's a 2-point lead for the Eagles.
The Eagles just have great composure under pressure.
Also, you have 4 players in double figures. It's been a dominant effort from the start. And Catawba, who's never led, has the ball with 2 minutes left. Thorne on the shot fake and an offensive foul. McIntosh called for the pick. That's 5 fouls, and she is now fouled out.
I don't think she realized that until just a second ago, and now she's heading to the bench.
Innocent till proven guilty, the numbers never lie. Big minutes for McIntosh, playing the very large front court of Carson Newman.
And she's such an animated player. She wears her emotions on her sleeve, not happy having to come sit on the bench.
Boshears operating at the point. Finds Quay Hines, who dumps it down to Pierce. Pierce is triple teamed, and a jump ball keeps it on this end of the floor.
Pierce isn't as good of a ball handler as Taylor is inside. She's gotten caught up on a couple passes inside and doesn't have the same ability to move with pressure.
Lindsay Taylor, the star forward, is out with an ankle injury the rest of this game. So it'll be up to the rest of the squad to carry the load, and the tip ball by Downs keeps it here again. That defense for Catawba has been fantastic, forcing 29 turnovers. There's Taylor, who rolled her ankle in the 4th quarter. Back to Boshears, who can't hit. Rebound Barnes. Downs a career night with 20. Now shoots for the tie and is stripped. It's Catawba ball.
Downs has been the best option, but she doesn't have to be the only option. She should have passed it out. There's 3 people in front of her from the opposite team and definitely had somebody else open.
Thorne needs an option here, and that's a timeout. Oh, just in time, Terrence McCutcheon. So if you're Mike Mincy here and you're number 10, his club has won 3 straight years on the road in this building. What must Carson Newman do to hang on to get this win?
You cannot turn the ball over when it's on your end. And right now, you have to make sure that you're denying any inside look for Catawba.
Carson Newman without Lindsay Taylor for the rest of this game, battling an ankle injury. A club that has just 1 road loss. That was at Lincoln Memorial, and he said his team's going to focus on defense leading into this matchup. Well, they've done the defensive end. Now they need to find ways to put some points on the board.
And you got to go to your number 1 option. Weichel has to get the ball. She's
find the girl in the orange headband.
Absolutely.
Can't go wrong.
She knows how to deliver, whether it's scoring basket herself or finding somebody with an assist.
The 4th leading scorer in the country. You see Weichel there with Abby Wilson. They look like twins, and they're both pretty effective. Right into your picture. Lyric Thorne's been so clutch in this second half, trying to lead the comeback. DeShazo backs down her defender. Stripped by, Quay Hines. Defensive Catawba's kept it in all night, but it's the defensive Carson Newman hanging on with 1:04 to go.
Mincy wants to make sure that they make the most of this possession. Quickly go over what they want to do offensively, make sure that they're able to get a bucket, extend this to a 2-possession game.
So Carson Newman at 11-1 in the league, Catawba at 5-1. The winner of this game would have possession of first place, and with just 2 weeks to go, so critical here in the South Atlantic Conference.
And for Catawba, with just 7 games under their belt, it's incredible that they've only played 6 times total, and they're still doing so well here today against the number 1 team in the conference.
Tusculum and Carson Newman right now 1-2 as you see in the standings, but so much on the line leading up to the conference tournament the end of February, starting February 27th. And here's Carson Newman on the road, struggling without Lindsay Taylor the rest of this game. Here's Braylon Weichel as we hit the final minute mark.
There's the screen. And goes back out.
Carson Newman led by 7 in this 4th quarter. It's been trimmed to 2.
Really trying to keep them out of the paint.
Wilson the jumper.
It's tough when you have people like Abby Wilson who can pull up for a jumper and hit like that.
The junior from Kingston, Tennessee. Her first points, and it came at the best time. Back in the hands of Stanback. Settles for a 2 and misses. Wilson had it for a moment. Loose ball on the floor. Possession arrow will stay here with Catawba.
Just moved around the court until she found an open look and stepped back, drops the dime.
Abby Wilson just a 2-point per game scorer. But on the night where they need some production outside of Weichel, they get it. And a timeout for Terrence McCutcheon to talk this over with 29 seconds to go.
Well, this is the end of the game focus that McCutcheon said his team needed to have. So that loss to Tusculum was going to be a good building moment for them, and then of course they got shut down just after that. Because even in the loss, he said it was going to give them a chance to kind of work on a few things and show them what they need to do at the end of a game to win. They have a chance to step up and try again.
One thing Catawba is looking forward to is a doubleheader today, something you haven't been able to say too many times on the season. The men will play Carson Newman about 30 minutes after this one comes to an end. And certainly in this game, Aaron, it's been a contrast of styles. Catawba's defense forcing now 29 turnovers, and Carson Newman, who came in as a top 5 scoring offense, held to just 65 points. But they do have Braylon Weichel, who's always dangerous. What can Catawba do here to seal the deal in this game?
They need to make sure that they get points on this possession. They don't have any more opportunities to waste time. Even if they can get a rebound, they need to make sure that it's quick shots and efficient shots.
You see Janiyah Downs, the sophomore's at a career night, 20 points to lead this squad. Also, Lyric Thorne with 12 in double figures. And then Braylon Weichel, number 11, right there with 20 of her own. In a rather low-scoring affair for these two. Thorne gets it into Gisay's zone. Here we go. Downs turns, rebounds, Stanback, who jumps in front of Pierce, and a jump ball gives possession to Carson Newman. Eagles call a timeout. And all that effort for not as the smallest player on the floor nearly got the ball from Pierce.
Stanback did a good job jumping inside after that rebound. Just unfortunately couldn't get a shot off before the jump ball was called. And now Indians sitting with no timeouts left. And they're going to have to really get everything out right now of what they need to make sure they're doing on both ends of the court as the last few seconds of this game play out.
Certainly tough if you're Catawba. You're playing a team in Carson Newman that's so good at the free throw line. We mentioned it coming in. 81% in these late game situations. Now the turnovers have been a bugaboo, as you see Addison Bird set to check in. How does Carson Newman avoid giving the ball away here with 21 seconds left?
They have to make sure that they're making smart passes. That's where we've seen them turn the ball over, is when they're making passes inside in traffic and they're just not able to execute as well. Down low right now without Taylor in the game. And for Catawba, in that huddle, they need to make sure that they know who the worst free throw shooters are on the team.
Nearly a turnover as Weichel had it poke loose. Carson Newman, 29 turnovers today. That's kept Catawba in it. And a foul this time. Boshears gets touched. So free throws coming up the rest of the way for Carson Newman.
Yeah, she's a 77% shooter from the line. Not the best foul option, not the worst.
It's a 5-point game. No timeouts for Catawba, so they have to run the floor here after this shot. And Skylar Boshears can't hit it. 6 points tonight. Keeps it a 5-point game.
Indians need a push.
Catawba needs to move quickly. Stanback, the three. No good. Rebound Boshears, and she's fouled. And that'll about wrap it up here in Salisbury as Carson Newman gets the stop on defense.
The Indians knew it was going to be a mental challenge here today, coming off 17 days off without the conditioning. They've definitely stepped up, have to be proud of their performance, the ability to hang with a team that's as good as Carson Newman and hold them well under their average.
Carson Newman looking to move to 11-1 on the year. That free throw's a big help, making it a 6-point ball game. As Terrence McCutcheon's club, they battled hard tonight, but it could come up short, dropping to 5-2. Give her 8 points tonight, and it's a 7-point lead. Bruce sprints into the front court. The layup is good.
Lots of things that both sides can learn from this ball game.
Braylon Weichel hangs on to the basketball, and Carson Newman hangs on for the road win. Their 9th straight victory over Catawba, a 68-63 final.
Of course, no handshakes in the COVID era, but good performances by both sides. Carson Newman staying with it and continuing to fight down the stretch. And then Catawba really putting up a big effort on Weichel, limiting her, and then obviously her ability to counteract that as the game went on.
20 points for Weichel gives the win for Carson Newman. They're 11-1 on the year, and we're going to sign off for this one. The men's game coming up in 30 minutes. But here tonight for Aaron Summers, I'm Evan Budrovich. Want to thank our hardworking crew as well. Carson Newman gets a road victory, 68-63. As the offense of the Eagles get cruising in the final minutes, hanging on for a win over Catawba.